Cristi Hegranes founded the Press Institute for Women in the Developing World to teach women in developing regions to become reporters and produce journalism that accurately reflected their lives and issues. Cristi received the 2008 Ida B. Wells Award, which was presented to her by Gala MC and CBS News correspondent Michelle Miller and Rita Henley Jensen.
Ida B. Wells. You've heard her name? You know her story? You know her impact on this great nation's history. She was born a slave, raised her brothers and sisters after yellow fever took her parents, successfully sued a railroad for segregating passenger cars, owned her own newspaper in Memphis till it was destroyed in May of 1892 in retaliation for anti-lynching editorials, was a powerful voice who documented lynching in America and thus instrumental in its decline. She was a suffragist who became a member of the Illinois state legislature. This was like pre-1900. She was a black woman. She was a woman. She was power. You hear me? Can you hear me now? Each year, Women's E-News honors a journalist who could be said to be walking a similar path with Wells. And this year, the honor goes to Cristi Hegranes. The founder of the Press Institute for Women in the Developing World in 2006, Cristi recalls a moment in Nepal when she was a foreign correspondent interviewing a local woman. In an instant, she handed her pen and paper over, asking the subject to narrate her own story. Hegranes began the Institute to teach women in developing regions to become reporters and produce journalism that accurately reflected their lives and their issues. She designed a year-long intensive training program. If the women make it through that, they're hired as senior reporters by the Press Institute. So far, she's worked in Mexico and Nepal. Her next stop is Rwanda. The unemployment rate, or actually the unemployed street workers, domestic laborers, as she said, they live in a society where they are utterly disrespected. I'm blown away every day to see them choose journalism and use it to elevate themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing person giving voice to women the world over, Ms. Cristi Hegranes.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you very much. Thank you all so much. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here tonight in the name of Ida B. Wells. She is one of those historical figures who I have always kept in my heart's pocket because she lived a life of brave adherence to principle, and she was truly one of the first to use the craft of journalism in order to promote freedom and justice. So it is with immense pride that I thank Rita and the staff, board, and readers of Women's E-News for placing me in such esteemed company tonight. In truth, thank you. In truth, though, I have to say I'm quite fortunate these days. I seem to find myself in the company of exemplary individuals all of the time. And I wouldn't be here tonight if it weren't for the women and men of the Press Institute who took this little idea and turned it into this living, breathing organization that is creating poignant journalism and palpable change. When I first began on this quest to train women in some of the world's most depressed and developing regions in the skills of journalism, I was met with so much skepticism. So often people asked, how can you take an ordinary woman with no prior media experience and very little formal education? How can you take a woman like that and expect her to produce a piece of journalism that can actually carry weight in this media market? It can't be done. It can't be done. But we pushed forward, and we succeeded in creating a media model that arms those with the most intimate social, historical, and political and cultural access. It arms those individuals with the skills of ethical investigative journalism, and it allows them to tell their stories to the world, as opposed to the traditional model of foreign correspondence that parachutes an outsider in. We are telling stories from the inside out. And already, Press Institute reporters in Mexico and Nepal have tackled stories that few others in their communities dare to discuss. From rape and civil war to land use and human trafficking, Press Institute reporters, I am so proud to say, have silenced doubters, and they have solidified their place as ethical and necessary global correspondents. Today, their work is published in 7 languages in as many as 13 countries. And it is because of that that for all the naysayers out there, I have been absolutely blown away by the level of support that this idea often inspires. Tens of thousands of individuals all over the world have come forward and subscribed to our newswire and generously given to this notion that journalism is a powerful development tool. It is not just words on a page, it is a development tool that can be used to build community, to stimulate literacy, to activate global awareness. And our journalists are allowing people everywhere to live freer, fuller lives by providing access to information, which is a pretty phenomenal thing to watch unfold. There are a couple of people here tonight that I have to thank because they have played pivotal roles in the creation and the success of the Press Institute, and they are my family. They're all here tonight. First and foremost, my dad, who has always challenged me to be stronger and braver, and he is an amazing example of a moral and thoughtful man. My mom and my stepdad are also here tonight, and their levels of generosity of time, resource, and spirit are absolutely incalculable in this project, and I'm so grateful for all that they do. And of course, my partner Patrick is also here tonight, and he is a pillar of love and support in my life that I'm just so grateful for constantly. So I'll close by saying I accept this most prestigious award tonight, but please know that I do it in the name of, and I dedicate it to, the women, the journalists of the Press Institute, for they are the ones that truly live and breathe with the spirit of Ida B. Wells. In the last 2 years, they have risen to every conceivable challenge. They have inspired the uninspirable with their passionate dedication to the principled practice of journalism and their pursuit of the greater good. So I salute these women tonight, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for honoring them, because they have truly honored me with their courageous dedication to my dream. Thank you so much.